The history of Tanzania, quite like any other part of the world, started a very long time ago with its first explorers. The nations of Africa are all fairly different in their own ways, but Tanzania is a nation that has much history and culture embedded within it. It starts out as Tanzania goes back to when the first Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama arrived there in 1498. From then, the country has been settled on from the Arabs taking over the land, then the Germans, and finally the British take over with the British colony. This began the development of the Tanzanian political system that has changed from the beginning of the British colonial period until now in the 21st century. The British colonization ended up wanting to rule over all the tribes, and this is what made it so that it was very difficult for anyone to live how they wanted to live, so the tribes decided to take over what they knew was theirs. And this also developed the development of the League of Nations, and this is when the Tanzania government would see a man by the name of Julius stand up to help fight for their much-needed independence that would eventually be claimed on December 9th in 1961. Tanzania would now start to adapt their newfound independence, but would decide to use a multi-party system quite like the U.S. Some things are the same, but also some are different as well. Just like the U.S., we will elect a president through a 4-year term, but Tanzania government will elect a president for a 5-year term. There is no vice president that is elected, and instead there is a prime minister who would be the leader of the National Assembly. Another thing that is different between their government from ours is that just like the U.S. has Hawaii, they have Zanzibar. But whatever laws that are made in the United Republic of Tanzania, that would not be carried out in Zanzibar because they have their own House of Representatives that would establish their own set of laws. Aside from the political changes of the country, religion and its origins have kept true to it. Christianity makes up 1/3 of the Tanzania Religion Society. Muslims make up another 1/3, and the indigenous religions that are spread across the tribes within the area make up the last 1/3. Missions work has become a great deal in this country, where Tanzania has begun to see a great influx of missionaries who would want to come to the country and aid in the development of their rural areas, which would get food and water out to those areas, and also for their education system to start to develop a lot more. Tanzania has grown over the past decades, whereas it has grown from coming from absolutely nothing to having imports and exports come in and out of the country. They have their own cash crops such as cotton and other plants, and the missionaries also do a great deal in providing aid and bringing in funding for the country as well. Well, this is all that I have learned on Tanzania for this semester, and it has been amazing getting to know a lot about the country. Thanks.